Okay, so this is a really straightforward way of answering questions where you get find an angle. Now, with these, you will generally get find one angle. So in this case, it's find angle X, but they could call it whatever, find angle Y. It doesn't matter. They just want you to find this angle here. So if you get one like this, a question like this, what they're asking you to do is work out all the other angles first. If you work out all the other angles, it'll make perfect sense. Now the trick is to regard this as two separate shapes. So you can see this is one triangle, so we'll call that triangle 1, and this is triangle 2. Okay. What it wants you to do is it wants you to do all the internal angles. If you do all the internal angles, you'll get eventually to this one here. Okay? So let's start again. Now it's giving you some clues here. You can't just guess that by doing that. It's giving you some clues and it wants you to do every single internal angle. Now what I do is I write the internal angles actually inside these triangles. Now as we said before, these lines here, so these lines here means that these two sides, so this side and this side are equal. Okay, so this side and this side are equal. Now that's really useful for us because we know the rule of isosceles triangles, because we know this is, we've got two equal sides but a very long flat side there. We know that this opposite angle on the base, okay, has got to be the same as this one here. Okay, so if that's 25 degrees, that has to be by definition 25 degrees. Okay. So just regard it as an isosceles triangle. It's just sort of tipped up on its tip there. So if this is 25 degrees and this is 25 degrees, this must be, by definition, 180 degrees, which we know that's the internal angle of all triangles added together, minus 25 and minus 25, so that's minus 50. That makes a total of 130. So we know that this here is 130. Okay, so we've got 3 of our angles there. We just need to work out the rest. Really simple. One of the other rules that we know is when there's an angle on a straight line, you can see that's a straight line there, you have an angle there and you have an angle there. Now this angle we've already worked out, great, 130. So as well as 180 being the total of the internal angles, we know that 180 is the total of all angles on a straight line. So how easy is that? 180, we take away 130 and we get to a total of, if my maths is terrible, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 50. 50 degrees. Okay, so we're getting closer and closer. So we know that's 25. We know that's 25, we know that's 130, we now know that's 50. Now remember what we said about 180 being the internal angles of a triangle? Well, there we go. We've got 2, we just need to work out the third. So if we have here, we have 50 plus 70 equals 120. Now 180 minus 120 equals 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 80 is 60 degrees. Terrible maths. 60 degrees. Therefore we know by definition that must be 60 degrees.